Okay, living sound walls. So the terminology is a lot of different words, but they all mean the same thing: earthen berms, earthen mounds, sound mounds, green noise walls, green noise barriers. So they're all interchangeable. And we've been looking hard at this last year or so at doing more and ramping up what we've done in the past. So we've done some existing living sound walls, earthen berms. This one here is actually in District 4. This one's actually in Canton. Maybe some of you know about this or when it was built. So this was connecting to an existing concrete wall. And so we've done this already. We have a few examples. Here's one in Miami County, southbound, or actually northbound 75 near Troy, Ohio in District 7. This looks like a 2-to-1 slope. I don't know the exact details on it, but another example we did. We did one in Columbus, near 277 interchange on the east side of Columbus. This is probably a couple decades old, but I'm not sure if it was done for noise abatement or if it was just a waste material in an area. But as you can see, there's an apartment complex behind it. I've stood behind this earthen mound, and it's significantly reducing the noise very well. And this is one that was done in Morrow County, District 6, just last summer. And this looks like a pretty steep slope. This was I believe we had waste material, and there's a private owner behind it. So I believe there might have been an agreement made to build a berm. But I don't believe this was planned by ODOT. And here's one that was done recently near Cleveland on Interstate 480. This is a 3-to-1 slope berm for noise abatement. This is a type 2 area for a community that predated the freeway. So there's a program where we build noise barriers for those type of communities. So we had this opportunity where we have a lot of space between the freeway and the community. And so successfully we built this barrier and a green living sound wall. So we've identified private living sound walls statewide, and there's dozens of these things. And so here's a couple pictures. So this is like Gary said, this isn't anything new. There's a lot more of these privately owned that developers have done or communities have done on their own. And we're doing some upcoming research this July or fall, where we're going to hire a researcher to test private berms that we've identified to determine the noise abatement behind these noise barriers, because there's statements being made that noise or living sound walls provide better noise abatement than a concrete or fiberglass standard noise wall that we do. And you can build a shorter earthen berm than a typical concrete noise wall. So those statements are made, but we haven't seen a lot of data that shows that. So that's what we want to do. We want to gather that data and confirm that, so we can hopefully do more of these in the future on our own right away. So here's another example of a private living sound wall. See the apartment complex and landscaping on top. Here's one in Delaware County, 71 on the other side. And I've stood behind this. Is about a 13, 14 foot living sound wall, and huge reductions, huge noise benefit for this community. So what technologies do we have that we know of for living sound walls? Well, we have the typical 3-to-1 slope, even 4-to-1 slope, 2-to-1 slope, which some districts it's mobile, some it's not. And we also have this geogrid technology that we're looking at, where we can do 1-to-1, 1.5-to-1 slope, and this geocell technology. And also I just ran into, there's another technology called defense cell, but same idea. I've got photos of that coming up here. It's steeper than 1-to-1 slope. And this delta lock technology, which is bags of soil stacked on top of each other. I've got photos of that, steeper than 1-to-1 as well. So these are the technologies that we know of that we can use. This is the geogrid technology. This is a 1.5-to-1 slope in District 5. And this is the material, it's like a geosynthetic material. So we're already using this material for slopes, to steepen up slopes. So why not try? We haven't done it for a sound barrier yet, so that's what we want to do. This is a photo of the geocell technology. This is a slope again, retaining slope. And this is actually in Columbus. And this is the defense cell that we sort of just identified recently, where there's another technology similar to it's a geocell idea. So that's something we want to research that and look at and see if that's a possibility that we can do for our noise abatement projects. And this is the Delta Lock technology that, as Gary mentioned, we did a research project where we looked at this technology several years ago. And we were going to move forward and construct it, but the initial cost was pretty significant, and the requirement of an irrigation system was not something we were looking for. We're looking for something, we build it, and we forget about it. Low maintenance, no maintenance. And we want that cost, we want to keep that cost down as well. So what are the benefits of living sound walls? Well, there's a lot of them, and that we've identified. We believe it will perform better acoustically, and our new noise research is we're gonna do that research and prove that, hopefully confirm that, because we know for a fact that it works equal to a concrete or fiberglass noise barrier, but we want to prove that it's even better. It works even better. Maintenance-wise, it's a better choice. Construction costs, we know it's cheaper. There's no foundations, no posts, no panels. It's earth grading, grading of the soil and seeding. It will never have to be replaced, and it absorbs air pollutants from vehicles. There's research that proves that. Overall, the public wants greener solutions, and there's no risk to manufacturing or transporting materials with concrete. There's issues with that. Concrete cracks, it chips, and those things have to be repaired. The living sound will never deteriorate. You don't need cranes to build it or maintain it. Graffiti is a non-issue. Graffiti is not something we want to look at, right? But it's reality that our noise walls do get hit, and we have to maintain that. We have to clean that up. Efflorescence, which is the white milky material that you see on our older concrete walls, that's not going to be an issue with the living sound wall. Damage from a vehicle, that's not going to happen on a living sound wall, but it happens on our concrete and fiberglass walls. When that does, we have to go out and repair those issues. Here's more benefits. Color and texture is not an issue. It's already decided. All we need to decide is what vegetation we're going to put on there. No drilling, no augering needed. Material sourcing is easy. It's just soil. Provides habitat for native plants and species. Again, another public benefit. And it's more aesthetic if you're looking outside your patio, right? It's to look at something green, vegetated, than a concrete wall. Granted, our concrete walls offer aesthetics these days that people do choose, and they do like the aesthetics of our walls today. And the feeling of openness is preserved on the resident side. So these are all great benefits. And in our traffic manual today, we do say this is our first choice, to build an earthen berm living sound wall if it is feasible to construct. So that's in our manual right now. But what are the challenges? We do have challenges with that, even though that's in our manual. Obviously, we need space to build it, and that's a big issue in our right-of-way. We don't have a lot of space. But you did see we can do one-to-one now, slope living sound walls. So we have that technology, so we can look at that. This more as an option. Underground utilities could be an issue. We just can't build berms on top of. We have to make sure any underground pipes can handle that. So we have to bring in, utility experts to make sure that's not going to be an issue. Tower lighting. We have a lot of tower lighting in our right-of-way, so that would wipe those out. We'd have to relocate those. Not a huge issue. Vegetative choices for unmowable living sound walls. So again, we're just starting to we want to do more of this, but what are we going to plant? So that's still unclear. We want something that's maintenance free. And I'd heard about the no-mow seeds, so that's really interesting. That maybe that can be a solution. Recognition. We have to recognize that this is feasible. So that's not really happening right now. So as we think more about this with all the districts, this could be more of a reality with our projects or noise wall projects. That's the change in culture I'm speaking of, and how we think. It's not just concrete and fiberglass anymore. This is an alternative that we can strongly consider. And drainage could be an issue, where you've got this huge mass of berm that we're building. You know, where's it all going to drain? So we have to bring in our hydraulics experts, make sure that's not an issue. So this is the research that I mentioned earlier, where we're going to test about 35 berms acoustically, and we want to analyze these berms too, slopes, what's planted, and we want to confirm or we want to determine if an earthen berm provides the same acoustic benefit as a taller concrete noise wall. So that's kind of the main thing that we're trying to accomplish. And what's the cost benefit of earthen berms? So we want that more detail so we can support building these more in the future. And the first bullet, we want another option. The reality is we're not going to build these. These aren't going to replace concrete and fiberglass walls. That's the reality. But where there's an opportunity, we want to take that opportunity and build this, because that's not really happening right now statewide. But we want to change that culture, like I said before. So we do have some upcoming living sound wall projects. We have one in Toledo. We're doing a 2-to-1 slope there, and we have a couple in Columbus that we're doing. The 1-to-1 geogrid earthen berm that I've mentioned. There's one here. This one here is kind of up in the air. We're not really sure if that one's there's some utility issues that I mentioned before, so that's kind of a possibility. There's one in Bowling Green that was actually a contractor's proposal to go from a concrete wall to earthen berm 2-to-1 slope. So that looks like that's a strong possibility that's going to happen. We're going to save a lot of money too if we do that. And this is something I found in what they've done in Slovenia. So pretty steep slopes, right? Next to the freeway, as you can see, there's like a steel type of mesh. So I've contacted the person in Slovenia and waiting for information. But again, that's a challenge he's trying to find that information for me. So. But this is kind of what we want to start thinking of constructing in the future.
Great.
Thank you.